Hey guys, what's going on? Man, it has been like an extreme long time since I have updated Sin TV Now. Welcome to the program, of course. I am your host, Amira Blaze, and I'm here. Of course, the mission of Sin TV Now is to bring you smart, intelligent news and, of course, Asian pop culture. So, guys, we all know it's Halloween, and for us as freaks and geeks and gamers, a lot of us don't want to go outside, okay? I don't want to spend all this money putting on a ridiculous costume. I mean, I'm a costume by default, okay? Me being myself is scary enough. No, but guys, all jokes aside, what to play for Halloween? Like, what the hell do you play? Because there's so many games out here. There's so many game series, and some are very popular, and some are, not as well known and in between. But that is what I am here for. Okay, for today's episode of Sin TV Now, very special episode of the show, I would like to give you my recommendations for those of you who don't want to put on a costume and, hang out with people you probably don't even like nor care about. No. But if you're the type where you're like, you know what, I want to play some games. I want to get into the what they call it, the Halloween spirit. Here are some of my recommendations of games that you should definitely give a shot. And I have a little surprise at the end. I couldn't believe, guys, that I actually own this game. God, I love you. Thank you. All right, so here are my recommendations. First game I highly recommend is the DaySai, or hopefully I'm saying it right. It's like this is like DaySai. I tried, but the people who love these games are going to correct me anyway. But yeah, it's called DaySai, and this is Hour of Darkness for the PS2. They did do a remastered PC version, but then people started complaining about that on Steam, and there were so many issues with it apparently. So I got the PS2 edition. So pretty much, I'm sorry guys, there's spoilers. If you're really into these games and you don't want to know the tea, I'm about to spill some tea, some spoilers. So you may not want to watch this episode, okay? But I digress. So DaySai is pretty much the whole premise of this story is you have this protagonist, and this girl wakes him up and all this stuff and all this good stuff, right? So he wakes him up, and then they kind of go on this journey, and they get all these different colleagues. So this is what they call a strategic tactical RPG, where you have one character. It's kind of like you're in this game board in a way, or in the environment, and then you choose options to fight against your enemies. That's the best way to describe it. But the reason why the DaySai, let me move it over here, is a very well respected and very let me put it right here, very well respected and very popular series, is because of the humor. The humor, guys, in this game, it slays. And of course, this is an Atlas game, so it's going to be kick-ass. It's going to have good voiceovers and tons of effort in regards to the art style. It is a fabulous game. If you're into retro gaming, I highly recommend the DaySai series. So that's for PS2. And then the series actually is in, I think they made DaySai 5, I believe. Yeah, 5, which is out on the PS4. Now, if you're into fighting games, maybe RPGs, maybe tactical RPGs or strategic RPGs are just not your thing. It does not make you happy, right? So if you want to be happy, there are some people out here who enjoy fighting games. Now, I was not a fan of fighting games. I found them to be boring, and I found them to be very repetitive. But now I'm starting to have a little bit of a change of heart, And when it comes to your fighting games, it really depends on what you like. And for me, I'm really into anime. So a great fighting series that combines your anime elements with your Halloween elements is Guilty Gear. Now, this one is not really a fan favorite, but anything Guilty Gear, I buy this shit because I know I'm gonna enjoy it. That's just my personal opinion. Okay. So this is Guilty Gear Revelator. And pretty much think of Guilty Gear, guys, as a super, super, super highly intellectual version of Street Fighter. This is not a game for the weak. There are tons of crazy combinations. And I also highly recommend, if you want to enjoy it even more than with a regular controller, get a arcade gaming stick. And this game is fun. Is multiplayer, so you can play up to 2 players, which is always fun. And they also have a story mode. But this is a great game. I enjoyed the 2D style. But the Guilty Gear series, very popular. They have a lot of characters that carry scythes and all that cool shit. So perfect for Halloween. This is for PS4, but you can also get some of the Guilty Gear games on Steam as well. I'm telling you guys, Steam is awesome for gaming. It just makes gaming so much more convenient and just really easy, okay? So the next game, of course, my girl Velvet. She is my girl, okay? Like, me and Velvet have a lot in common. She's just so confident, right? And so strong. But I am so sorry, guys, for yawning. It's been a very long day once again. But this is Tales of Mysteria. We're going to get back into playing this part of my start to finish. And this is a very long game, but it is worth every penny, guys. This is probably the most melancholy, depressing game in the Tales of series. Like, if you do not like games that kind of have this story of vengeance in it, you will not like Mysteria, but give it a shot. Velvet is a very interesting character, and all of the characters they have really good deep storylines, and they're very compelling. I love Laphicet, which is her brother, and how like things kind of happen between them. It's a beautiful story, but very gothic, very depressing, but it has a lot of elements, like very scary elements, and the monsters totally Halloween. So if you're looking for an RPG that really steps it up in the storyline department, definitely check out Tales of Mysteria. All right, so next, you know me, I am hashtag Sony like all the way. I love Sony in regards to their gaming consoles. And if you're an RPG player like myself, you're gonna lean more towards the PS4 versus the Xbox One. And yes, I know Tales of Vesperia is gonna be coming out next year. But until that comes out, I will never ever buy an Xbox One just because of the games that I play personally. So for the PS3, this is also another Atlas game, Dragon's Crown. This game, guys, is so kick-ass. Like, if you want a game that is multiplayer, because I believe you can play up to 4 players. But the reason why I picked this game is just the artwork in itself. It's very gothic, it's very dark, but it still has this very like light, flowy fluidity to it. Very unique game. So if you're in the games like, beat 'em ups and stuff, try out Dragon's Crown. If you like that type of fantasy type stuff, you won't be disappointed. This game is awesome. So we'll be playing it on the show in a future episode. But you can't get more Halloween, my friends, than fucking Kratos from God of War. And for the PS3, you can get, and I've shown these in the past, but this is the remastered versions of God of War and God of War 2. They were compiled in a collection called the God of War Collection. I also have the Origins. And yeah, these games are amazing, and they just scream Halloween. I mean, you got blood, he's breaking necks, he's got, Kratos is so hot, man. He's got those muscles. He just needs to work on his attitude, you know. If he could work on his attitude, I would date him. He seems like a cool guy. All right, and of course, speaking of DaySai, this is DaySai 3 and for the PS3, so it's the continuation, the absence of justice, hilarious game. If you're into that strategic RPGs, definitely want to check this out. And of course, I would be a loser, I would be a poser if I did not mention this game series. And that is Persona. Persona 3 Fez, which is the expansion. We are currently playing that right now for my Let's Play. Guys, let me tell you, this game is life. This game is not for the weak, okay? The best way to describe Persona games is you will not have a life, okay, for a very long time. This game, guys, is like over 80 hours, okay? So if you are looking, if you're the type like me where you get, like for me, guys, I get so invested in the storylines, like I'll cry, you know, I'll laugh, like this game has it all. The characters, well, some of the characters are very developed. Other like NPCs, they're kind of a little dry, but not too bad. But the story is very compelling. And it also takes you back to high school, you know, like how it was like being a high school student. But I wouldn't want to be a high school student in Persona, man, because it's like not only do I have to go to school, but I have to fight the forces of evil, and that's got to be tiring as hell. How do you have time for academics when you're slaying, you know, monsters of destruction? It's crazy. But yeah, the Persona series, guys, excellent. But these are not games, you know, people for the weak. And what I mean by that is that you will be investing a lot of your life into these games because that's what is required to beat these games. So I have the expansion game of Persona 3, which is called Persona 3 Fez. I also have Persona 4, and I just got Persona 5 for the PS4. And don't you worry, we'll get into it, but I wanted to start from Persona 3. I've been looking to get Persona, the original Persona and the Persona 2, but guys, let me tell you, these games are becoming collector's items because they're getting harder and harder to find certain versions of Persona, especially Persona 1 and 2. Very expensive. I've seen the original Persona for like $100 and Persona 2 like for 150. Like they're really, really, really expensive games. But someday I'll have a complete Persona set. Now, for those of you who are not aware, the Persona series is a spin-off of the main series, which is called Shin Megami Tensei. You can't get more Halloween than this. This game is so dark. It's so scary. It makes you think about a lot of things, but it's a great game. Probably one of the best JRPGs ever made, in my opinion, besides Final Fantasy VII. Ooh, debate. But Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy X, this game is way up there. Actually, I think Persona is even better than Final Fantasy. This is just me. Because Persona gets really complex without it being way overly complex. But that's just me. It's me. My opinion. All right. So next we have Odin Spear. Now this is for the PS2, but they do have a version of Odin Spear that is for the PS4, and I just got that recently. It's called Odin Spear. It's like Leffen Spear or something like that. I'm sorry. But guys, these games, they have watercolor painting. They are some of the most beautiful games. There is a little bit of a learning curve in regards to understanding the controls, but once you get the hang of it, this game becomes a lot of fun. If you are into beat 'em ups, you know, or hack and slash, this is more of a hack and slash type game, but it is worth it. There are different difficulty levels and a beautiful story with compelling characters and a great storyline. And I'm not going to spoil this game. Go and get this game if you can, either for PS2 or for PS4. You know I have to talk about my favorite Asian daddy, right? Dante from Devil May Cry. Guys, if you have not played these games, you are missing out in regards to an extravaganza. Guys, these games kick ass. There is nonstop action. The thing is, like I always tell people, this game is so scary too in certain parts, and things jump at you, and it's like this. I play this game in the day, guys, because it's just too sensitive for my heart, honey. But when you see Dante, I just want to lick. I just want to lick his face. He's so fine. Okay, that's when you know a man is so fine, is where you're like, I just want to lick him. I'm being ridiculous. But yeah, Dante, Devil May Cry. I have 2, 3, and I got the I think it's a remake. Well, no, it's not a remake. It's like it's called Devil May Cry, but it's like a different variation of the story. But oh my gosh, guys, Dante is hot. Nero even makes me hotter than Dante. Oh, but these games are perfect Halloween games. Great to play in the dark. You will get scared as hell, but wonderful games. Wonderful games. All right, so now to my new games I'm adding to my collection, which I am very excited about. I got them today. Let's see what they are. This is a game that apparently will give you high blood pressure, maybe, because it's a very frustrating game. It's a very challenging game. And I have a new title, guys, that I would like to announce. I am the worst video gamer, and that's true. I suck at video games, and I'm going to show you guys how much I suck by playing the game of all games, Dark Souls for PS3. I've been trying to collect the older versions of these games because these games are starting to go up in price now, because the Dark Souls trilogy is going to be coming out soon. I'm not sure. Did it come out already? Look, it's so hard to keep up with game news sometimes because the shit is always changing. But yeah, Dark Souls, great Halloween game. It's got a medieval feel to it. You're fighting demons, you're fighting ghosts, you're fighting just all different forces of evil. So if you're fighting forces of evil, that automatically defaults it to me into being a Halloween game. Not necessarily a great game, but the Dark Souls series is highly respected in the gaming community. It is not for the weak. This game requires a lot of focus, a lot of concentration and dedication, but this game will punish you if you suck. Like, if you really suck, you're going to really start learning how to get better, how to avoid obstacles and battling different enemies and stuff. But I've always wanted to play the Dark Souls series, and this game causes people to lose their shit. So I want to see what the big deal is. So I got it for the PS3. And I will be getting 2 and 3 in the near future. The next game that I wanted to play is Diablo. This is the Ultimate Evil Edition, Reaper of Souls, and it includes the original game with the expansion. And yeah, I just wanted to play some Diablo. Diablo, no introduction is given. This game is very popular. It still has a community and everything like that. I will say this though, Diablo players they can be very fun, but this is a very competitive game. So if you're not into like competitive games or multiplayer type game, you may not like Diablo, but you can also play it as a single player game, which is really cool. And it has a great storyline. The voiceovers is great, and Diablo just screams, no pun intended, Halloween. I mean, you've got ghosts, you've got ghouls, you've got scythes. It's in a very dark environment. But yeah, this is great. So I was really happy to get this today. And finally, my freaks and geeks, my minions, this is a game that everybody's been talking about. Besides Red Dead Redemption 2 is out now, and I definitely want to get that in the near future because I heard it's like a great. I was talking to some people about it today, and they say it's a very kick-ass game. But, guys, I was able to get the game that Conan O'Brien, of course, did on Clueless Gamer and was really entertaining to watch. I can't believe I'm holding this in my hands, guys. I'm shaking right now. Well, metaphorically. God of War! God of War for the PS4. Man, it's going to be great to see like Kratos in high definition. Wow. It's something about him, just like Snake in Metal Gear Solid. Maybe I just have this thing for like strong men or whatever with like serious voices, you know? Gets me giddy. No, I'm being ridiculous. But yeah, God of War for PS4. Really excited to play this game. It is very graphic though. So one thing I will say is these games are for mature audiences only. Well, I would say even Guilty Gear. These games, some of these games have gore. God of War is, to me, a very adult game. I mean, he's breaking necks, you know, he's stabbing things, blood is gushing everywhere. So this is not a game if you're squeamish, but the story is really good from what people are telling me. So after we finish playing Persona, we will be getting into God of War. And here's another announcement, guys. I am going to go back to doing crossover episodes between my shows. So I will be playing both God of War, because this game is very metal, on the Kirby Metalhead show as well as Sin TV Now, and you can watch both to see, you know, what happens and what unfolds. But guys, those are all the game selections that I have. If you have any more games that you think that you, my freaks and geeks and minions, if you guys feel that is like a great Halloween game, leave it in the comments below. I'm always looking for like new shit to play and, you know, and check out ever so often. So guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get something to drink. My throat is killing me, but I'm glad I was able to share all of these fine recommendations with you. So like I always say, guys, remember to get smart and stay informed.